Hey, football fans. Let's go very quickly through my Week 3 power rankings. So, what I do, I'm very simple. If you're undefeated, you're probably going to be ranked higher than teams that have a loss. If you're winless, you're going to be probably ranked underneath teams that have wins. I pretty much go by record, and then if you lose to somebody, um, throughout the course of the season, it's very hard for me to put you above that team unless that team has either come back down to earth, which means you started to lose a couple games, or I would just say that come back down to earth and the other teams started to be better. For example, like, do I think the Chiefs are worse than Detroit Lions? No, but right now I'm not gonna have the Detroit Lions under Kansas City Chiefs with them having the same record and them looking to me both as equally good and bad in regards to figuring things out. So that being said, let's start with my power rankings. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers. Number 2, Dallas Cowboys. Both undefeated. My first 9 teams are all my first 9 teams in the ranking are all undefeated. These two, why would I have the 49ers above the Dallas Cowboys? One, Dallas Cowboys to me have played weaker competition. You played New York Jets and New York Giants, who completely shut down. So I'm not going to discredit them shutting down those teams. But at the same time, there was no Aaron Rodgers. And New York Giants were kind of exposed for the lack of receivers that they put around Daniel Jones, in my opinion. And the defense did not come to play that game for New York Giants. I just think San Francisco's victories of beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I had in my preseason rankings, a lot higher. And I expect them still to do very good, but they haven't looked that great so far. They destroyed them, in my opinion, and they took care of business last week against the Los Angeles Rams, winning a close divisional game, and they kind of handled that game too. So I think they're the best team defensively so far, in my opinion, even though, Dallas Cowboys have been the most impressive. And this does not include, the recent injury to Trayvon Diggs or the 49ers victory with New York Giants currently. So, Philadelphia Eagles number 3, returning champs. Baltimore Ravens. Both these teams injuries, but are undefeated, so impressive. Miami Dolphins, team that I had in that playoff hope bound kind of thing. Beating those expectations so far of mine, and playing impressive. So I have them at 5. Saints at 6. Saints have not. David Carr has not looked the most impressive so far. Cincinnati Buccaneers at 7. Atlanta Falcons at 8. Washington Commanders at 9. All these teams are teams I expect to come back down to earth at some point. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a team, though, that could, I had them going 7-10 for the season, but they're starting to kind of go to that playoff hopeful kind of position. All right, so now let's go. All these are 1-1 from 10 all the way to 23. Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. Already said that in my other video. Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not me saying Kansas City Chiefs are worse than Detroit Lions, but the Lions beat them, so I'm not going to put the Chiefs over them right now. And I do expect this to kind of figure itself out throughout the season, and the Chiefs ultimately, as the season progresses, jump the Detroit Lions. Buffalo Bills at 12. Allen is a high and low guy. Like, he looks good and he's throwing steps he shouldn't have. So they're at 12. 13, Los Angeles Rams. I had them ranked at 30 to start my preseason because I didn't think they added anything to this roster. But they've been playing very impressive so far, especially with pieces still out. Key pieces of the team still out. Seattle Seahawks at 14. Losing week 1 to the Rams, but looking impressive and coming back and beating the Detroit Lions last week. 15-16, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns. Steelers at 15, Browns 16. Offensively, they're still figuring out, but defensively, both these teams are solid. 17, Tennessee Titans had them ranked at 26 to start the season. Very well coached team. Didn't think they added much to the roster again, but these teams have been playing impressive. This team has been playing impressive so far under their coach, Mike Vrabel. 18, Green Bay Packers are losing week 1, which they won, and winning week 2, which they lost. So, still a young team figuring out. Number 19, Jacksonville Jaguars. Good win week 1. Week 2, losing against a competitive team. There's just a team I think has a tough schedule, so that's why I have them ranked 19. I still have them winning the division very comfortably. I just think they have a very tough schedule. I think the AFC South altogether has a very tough schedule. Number 20, Los Las Vegas Raiders. So Raiders, again, good and bad. First week 1 looks good. Week 2 kind of came back down to earth on this defense. So I don't think this is a team that made major improvements in the offseason. So 20 right now. You have this Colts. Anthony Richardson has looked like this team could be trending in the right way if they had Jonathan Taylor. In my opinion, he's looked more impressive than I expected him to start the season. And the offensive line's getting back into gel of things. So this team has some explosive power to the offense, which I didn't think fit very much around Richardson, if I'm being honest, but getting the job done so far. So 21, 22, New York Jets, 23, New York Giants. So New York teams at 22 and 23, the Jets and the Giants. Some of this is injuries. Rodgers out, Barkley out for the Giants. And some of this is just not meeting expectations so far. The Giants shouldn't have been the position they were last week, Arizona Cardinals. And you got New York Jets, who looked the complete opposite against a good football team, which I'm going to kind of wash it away because I think the Dallas Cowboys has a very good defense. But even, going against the Bill defense, who I think is good, just there's a lot of questions with Wilson, even though I still think they could be a playoff team with him. Zach Wilson is just a lot of questions. And New York Giants, didn't look good week 1, week 2. Like, impressive at that comeback, but shouldn't have been down that much to me a team. And there are some comments for really think are tanking this season just for a quarterback. So I have them at 22-23. So now our winless teams. So 24-32 is all the winless teams so far. 24-25. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at 24, Los Angeles Chargers 25. These teams should not be winless in my opinion. Injury, I think, is the reason the Bengals are winless. Chargers just every year seem to be in close games and find ways to lose it. These teams offensively and even defensively are just teams that shouldn't be the situation. So they're my two best teams out of the pack. 26, New England Patriots. 27, Denver Broncos. And even 28, Minnesota Vikings. These are teams that, again, to me have played well. Were in games the first 2 weeks. And have played well enough that they shouldn't be in this situation, even though I kind of expect them to be in this situation. I have all three of these teams not making the playoffs, but they've played well enough to me, and they all have good coaches, in my opinions, that they can make a turnaround, but I just think all three of their schedules is very tough this year, and I think the roster is not ready to overcome that adversity of their schedule this year. 29, 30, 31, 32. 29, Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, not enough around him. 30, Carolina Panthers, rebuild, Bryce Young. 31, Arizona Cardinals, complete rebuild, team I believe is absolutely tanking for the number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams, but have looked impressive in the first 2 weeks. And then 32, Houston Texans, who just to me out of all these teams has looked like the one that's in the biggest rebuild, needs the most around them to get this thing fixed. So again, miss anything about my power rankings after for week 3. I'm kind of gonna do it every 2 weeks. My power rankings, not do it every week. So we'll be 1 to 32 will be in order and description of where you were ranked in my previous ranking, which was in the preseason. So that being said, you want to have a blessed day. Enjoy your week. Enjoy football. Peace.